finally the weather was good enough for us to actually start on the fence. Now this fence cost us nothing, but it has cost us an awful lot of time. So if you've watched the previous video, you'll have seen that we had a load of hazel that was given to us by our neighbour after they'd done their hedge laying, and it took us about 3 or 4 weeks just to go through and get everything ready. And now we've got all these long lengths, we were able to put them into categories. So there was one pile of stakes, which Matt is just working through here, and he had a bit of a template as to how long they needed to be. And we've cut them all to length and then put them and screwed them onto all of the raised beds. We were going to knock them in, but that didn't work. So we had to kind of come up with a bit of a plan B. And it worked really well, to be fair. Each of the stakes were about 1/2 metre apart, which actually worked really well. So if you are planning on making a wattle fence, I'd recommend doing it that way. And then we took some of the longer lengths, they were a little bit thinner, and we wove them in between each of the stakes. It's made a lovely pattern, and it was fairly easy to do. Some of them easier than others, and it didn't actually take us that long to get this fence up. I genuinely thought it was going to take forever, but we managed to get yesterday the whole of one side completely finished, and if only it was this quick, but it didn't take us long. And we've also managed in the second day to get the whole of the other side done, so let's show you that. So this is day 2, and we've done pretty well, to be fair. Like, let me show you what we've gotten up to. So we finished yesterday and we've managed to get the stakes in. Had to do a bit of a plan B with those because we couldn't knock them into the ground where they are. So everything's attached to the raised beds. And then we managed to weave all of these underneath. So if you have a look here, we do 2 in one direction. So we start this one this side, and then we started this bottom one the opposite side, and you go the whole way down following that. Then you turn it around and you do the same coming back this way. So you start on that end and then work your way down. So it makes a lovely pattern. We've got to tidy everything up, we kind of ran out of time. Matt added these nice little top section and then crosses in between, and hopefully this will now stop the dogs from at least jumping directly through the vegetable beds, because if you see here there's lots of footprints, and that's because Lady just can't be bothered to come up the path, so she just jumps through all the vegetable beds. So it's not finished, we've still got to do all the way down here straight to the hedge line, and then that will keep the vegetable garden completely separate from the main garden. And then we'll also then have this section down here once we've shored the bank up, and then we'll be able to go, look at these two. What are you two doing? Matt did a wonderful job today getting the posts in, and this side was a little bit easier than the other side, mainly because the ground didn't have loads of stones in it and lots of rocks that got in the way. We tidied the edges up so we could actually get past this side of the fence, because every time we walked past it, these branches were slapping me in the back of my legs, which was fun. So just had to get this tidied up before we could crack on to the next part. And it actually turned out really nice, like the edge of it. You could use, shears, or if you've got big gardening shears, stuff like that you could actually cut these with. That's also another plan. You don't have to get the chainsaw out, but it did make this job very quick and got it done in no time at all. This is where we've got to. So we've taken where the stakes were here, we've taken the tops off just to neaten everything up, and we've also managed to get a whole second part to it. So this is the second part. There's going to be a gate that goes here, and then there's going to be great big long steps that go all the way down to the water. So part 1, gate, part 2, another gate, and then part 3, which will run in between this side. And in essence, that'll be everything done.